In today's lecture, art is not merely a reflection of society, it's a tool for change. Throughout history, art has been used to challenge the status quo, provoke thought, and inspire movements. In times of social and political turmoil, artists have often been at the forefront, using their work to make powerful statements. However, the role of art in social change is complex. While it has the power to bring issues to the forefront, there's also the risk of commodification, where the message is lost in the quest for commercial success. In addition, the accessibility of art is a constant challenge, often confined to galleries and theaters, limiting its reach. To truly harness the power of art for social change, it must be made accessible to a broader audience, encouraging widespread engagement and dialogue.
Paper mill. Paper mills had the
What psychology has focused primarily on throughout the years, and that's over the last over 100 years since William James, is mostly on the negative, on getting people from the negative to the 0 point, to be okay, not to be sick. But then, as Henry Thoreau once said, most men live of quiet desperation. So quiet desperation is not necessarily depressed, it's not necessarily anxious, but it's not happy. And we're not fulfilling our potential if we don't focus on things that go beyond 0. So positive psychology came to rectify that. You take us from the 0 to the positive. But there is another reason why positive psychology is important. And that is, before psychologists have found, is that not only does it get us from the 0 to the positive, but it also strengthens our immune system, i.e. makes us more resilient when dealing with the negative.
Five. Listen to a discussion in a music history class. The class is studying improvisation.
Every jazz player knows what he or she means by improvisation, and all writers know what they mean by improvisation. The result, of course, is a lot of confusion and disagreement about what improvisation really is. We hear about the different types of improvisation: free improvisation, and controlled improvisation, and collective improvisation. What does it all mean? Yes, Mary?
My dictionary says improvise means to compose or recite without preparation.
That's true, but it tells us only part of the story. As we know, musicians learn how to play their instruments before they can improvise, so they do have some preparation. Yes, Arthur?
Maybe a better definition is composing and performing at the same time.
That tells us another part of the story. Let's try to understand it more by looking at history.
Some children are naturally more sociable and enjoy interacting with others from a young age. They often make friends easily in social settings. However, a few of them might be diagnosed with social anxiety as they grow older. This condition can make it harder for them to connect with people. Early support can help them overcome these challenges. Parents and teachers play a big role in this process. The puffin is a small seabird known for its colorful beak and unique behaviors. It lives in colonies on rocky cliffs near the ocean. This bird allows other species to share its habitat without much conflict. However, it must be cautious of predators like seagulls that might steal its food. The puffins cooperate with each other to protect their nests from danger. A corporate organization recently started a campaign to keep these birds safe by raising awareness. They introduced a new conception of wildlife protection to the public. This led to increased consumption of eco-friendly products to support the cause. The driving school is always busy during the summer as many students sign up for lessons. They want to get their licenses before school starts. The instructor is responsible for teaching them how to drive safely. They are requiring each student to demonstrate their ability to handle the car properly. This ensures everyone is ready for the road. Passing the test is a big achievement for new drivers. A successful sports team often has a strong culture that unites its players. This shared identity helps them work together effectively. The team's cooperation during practices and games is key to their performance. Everyone supports each other to achieve their goals. It's expected that they will win the championship this year due to their hard work. Fans are excited to see the results.
Most societies throughout history employed some strategies to help people in poverty meet basic needs. Before the 20th century, religious groups and private charities often led such initiatives. Today, these are called welfare programs, and they usually take the form of government-provided subsidies for housing, food, energy, and healthcare. Typically, these programs are means-tested, meaning that only people who fall below a certain income level are eligible for benefits. This policy is designed to ensure aid goes to those who need it most, but it also means people lose access as soon as they earn more than the qualification threshold, regardless of whether or not they're financially stable enough to stay there. This vicious cycle is harmful to both those in poverty and those outside of it. Mainstream economic models assume people are rational actors who weigh the cost and benefits of their options and choose the most advantageous path forward. If those in poverty know they'll gain no net benefit from working, they're incentivized to remain on government assistance. Of course, people work for many reasons, including societal norms and personal values. But income is a major incentive to pursuing employment. And when less people take on new jobs, the economy slows down, keeping people in poverty and potentially pushing people on the cusp of poverty over the edge.
So where does meditation fit into mindfulness?
So mindfulness is often spoken of as the heart of Buddhist meditation. So it's a form of meditation that really is the cultivation of intimacy with awareness. we have to learn to enter the domain of awareness because so much of the time we're living in distraction. And that was true for thousands of years. So we didn't have to wait for the iPhone to be distracted. But now we're distracted to an infinitely higher degree than ever before. And just on average, people check their phones about 260 times a day. Just to check, not to answer the phone, but to just check the phone to see whether there's anything interesting happening. So in all those 260 moments,
Listening to the soft rustle of the leaves, it's a sound that you simply cannot hear without silence. What you can sense in the noisy environment becomes suddenly vivid in the quiet. How clear and pure the sound is. It's fascinating, but it's also soothing. Suddenly, it's as if another realm has touched your auditory sense and you think, hey, I hadn't realized that something so faint, so subtle could be so. Prince Edward Island is launching a tourism campaign to highlight its beaches and history. The initiative promotes festivals, seafood, and hiking trails to attract visitors. It aims to boost local businesses and create seasonal jobs. Guide Zara Wong says tourism is vital for the economy. Marketing begins this summer, with a surge expected by 2026. The province is partnering with airlines for promotions. Residents welcome the plan, citing cultural pride. Pei expects to rival top Canadian destinations soon. New Brunswick is upgrading its rail system to improve freight and passenger services. New tracks and trains will connect rural towns to urban hubs faster. The project aims to cut road congestion and emissions significantly. Worker Eli Ross says efficiency is vital for trade. Construction starts this autumn, with completion by 2028. The province is investing in local labor for the work. Businesses expect smoother supply chains soon. New Brunswick hopes to lead in sustainable transport solutions. Toronto is promoting green roofs to combat urban heat and improve air quality. The city offers funds for buildings to install plant-covered roofs widely. The initiative aims to cut energy costs and support biodiversity. Architect Laura Evans says sustainability is crucial for cities. Installations begin this summer, with thousands expected by 2027. The plan includes public education on environmental benefits. Residents support the move, citing cooler summers. Toronto aims to set a global standard for urban greenery. Vancouver is expanding its bike network to promote cycling as a primary transport mode. New lanes will connect suburbs to downtown, ensuring rider safety. The project aims to cut car use and improve public health. Cyclist Mary Comet says access is vital for commuters. Construction starts this fall, with completion by 2027. The city is adding bike-sharing stations too. Environmentalists praise the plan's focus on sustainability. Vancouver expects it to lower emissions significantly. You must wear a hard hat on the construction site. You must wear.
Protective clothing must always be.
If you have any questions about the exam, please raise your hand. If you have any questions about the exam, please raise your hand. Online classes offer flexibility to learn despite a hectic personal schedule. Deforestation increases as the number of people in the world grows. A good assistant always makes sure to clarify all the details. Challenges for local workers are often greater than for others. Any applications turned in late will not be considered, unfortunately. The university awarded her a scholarship for her academic achievements. Unfortunately, the microscope in the biology lab got broken by accident. British students are required to undertake mathematics during secondary education. Dark chocolate contains cocoa known to enhance immunity and mood. Sentencing decisions hinge on the adjudicated guilt of the accused. Time spent outdoors is proven beneficial for mental and physical health. Students are afforded the liberty to pursue personal academic interests. Every student develops a unique approach to their learning process.